So, just a little word about what to do with your bulky seams. If you've got to this point where we've got to put our borders around the outside, you are going to have quite a lot of bulk at these edges because you've got 3, 6, 7, 8 pieces of fabric coming in at one point. So, if I flip this over, you can see here what I did try and do was to help spread it. Normally you would nest the seams, but because there's enough bulk even when you split the middle, I found that I'd got enough to be able to nest these two seams when I was sewing this piece and this piece together. So what I did was I put those in half, and you can see that I have actually slightly reduced the bulk there. Now the reason I didn't reduce it any further up until this point was if you're not careful and you take too much of the bulk away from this middle seam, what you will end up with is you'll end up with this seam splitting and unraveling. So the best thing to do is to reduce it slightly just to help get your machine over the bulk. But then once you're at this point, then you can just take your scissors in and you can snip a little bit extra, because even if the seam splits a tiny bit, it's anchored by this line of stitching here. So that's just a little bit of help. The other thing that I tend to use is my tailor's clapper, which I use when I am doing ironing seams to get really flat seams. But if you use this, I'm not going to do it now because it'll just make a massive noise, but if you actually bang the fabric down, you'll actually smooth the seams down and you'll end up with a much flatter result. So it's just a little tip for when you get to this point.